Good morning everyone and welcome to Results Day. My name's Erin Bartley. I'm a careers advisor with Skills Development Scotland and I also volunteer on the Results Helpline. So we've put together a little live video today just to talk over some of the main issues that you might be encountering today once those envelopes, texts and emails have dropped into your inbox. So today I'm going to go over some of the kind of main issues and questions, and hopefully that answers some of the questions that you might have. I'll also be giving you the number of the helpline that you can probably see behind me and on my jumper as well. So feel free to give us a call. We're open today, Tuesday, until 8 p.m. We're open 8 till 8 tomorrow, Wednesday, and on Thursday and Friday we're open 9 till 5. So please give us a wee call if you've got any questions. I'll hopefully get round to some live questions if anybody's got any questions for me today. So if you do, just ping in a question and hopefully we'll get round to that. So one of the main questions that people ask is if you didn't get the results that you expected, what you should do next. So that's probably individual for every single person, but the first thing to do is to take a nice deep breath and to think about what those options might have looked like in the past, what they might look like in the future, and think about what backup plans you've had and if those need to go into action now. So for example, if you had a university offer and you've maybe not quite got the results that you were looking for, have a look on your UCAS track first and foremost, because sometimes you can still be offered a place or sometimes they'll offer you a substitute course. But also have a think about colleges and apprenticeships and other options too. So please have a good think about things and give us a call on the helpline if you want to talk through any options. An important thing to note at this time of year, there's clearing on your UCAS website, so you can have a look at all the courses that are still available at universities. I would always urge you to think really carefully about that and don't jump for courses that are there. Just have a good look through, maybe note down your top ones, have a good chat with friends and family, and also maybe have a chat to a careers advisor either on the helpline or your school careers advisor will also be available that you can have a good chat to. The other thing to remember is a lot of local colleges at this time of year will have clearing days. So days where they are open to the public, you can go in and speak to lecturers, you can go in and speak to staff and find out what courses are still available. So for example, if you didn't get into your top choice for university but your heart is still set on that course, then maybe going to college for a while would be a good option, and that would give you the qualifications that you would need to then move on to that course in the future. So that's definitely something that you can do. We've got a few questions that we prepared in advance. I'm going to put them on the screen now, if I can work with technology. Excellent. And I'm going to go through some of those questions as well. But please feel free to ask us some questions as you go through. I'm more than happy to answer things that you have got today. So if you didn't do as well as you expected, a lot of people feel that that means that you're not going to get the future that you hoped for, maybe not going to get that perfect job or get that perfect place at university. Don't worry. I know it feels like the end of the world at the moment, but it's absolutely not. Everybody has different pathways into their perfect career. It's not always as straightforward as leaving school with perfect hires, going on to university, getting the perfect career at the end of the day. For example, I am in my perfect career. I love being a careers advisor, but my path wasn't straightforward. I didn't get the grades that I wanted on exam results day. For anybody in the same boat, I failed higher maths first time around. There was lots of tears at this time of year for me, but everything worked out well for me. I started off in university, I changed my course halfway through, and I am now very, very happy in the career that I wanted to do. So remember, there's always different paths to choose, and that's why we have careers advisors and why we've got the helpline, so that there's professionally qualified experts who can talk you through the best routes for you. Some people at this time of year might have changed their mind about their pathway. Now that could be to do with the results that have dropped through the door today, or it could just be that you've been thinking over summer, now you've had a bit of a break from exams and you think that you might want to change that career pathway in the future. That's absolutely fine and totally normal at this time of year. My advice is always to think about things very carefully. Don't be too quick to jump into a completely new career choice, and definitely want to give us a call on the helpline or have a chat to your school careers advisor. There is an opportunity to change your mind about options at the moment if that is what you want to do. As we've said, this place is available through clearing. You can speak to universities about course changes, and there'll be opportunities available at college as well. So there'll be lots of things that you can do, but we want to make sure we think that through, because this is going to be potentially the next couple of years of your life, and you want to make sure that you are making the right decisions. So have a good chat to people first, but there is the opportunity to change your mind about those future pathways. If you didn't get any hires, it's absolutely not the end of the world. It could just be that your learning style is slightly different, and there's other ways that you can get the qualifications that you need. So absolutely, you can still get apprenticeships, you can still go to college, so you would be applying for NC level courses rather than HNC level courses. And I know a lot of my pupils in the past who didn't achieve hires in school but have flown through the college or apprenticeship system and then gone on either to university or to the career of their choice. So hires aren't everything. So if you didn't get any hires, don't worry. It doesn't mean you can't get the job of your dreams. We just need to look at a different option. And it might be that that's a more suitable pathway for you. That's a bit of advice that I always give at this time of year. If things didn't work out, there's maybe a reason for that. And maybe there's another path out there that actually suits you much better. Maybe it's a much more vocational route where you get to use your skills and expertise, or maybe it's a route where you're going to get to be a bit more supported. College is often seen as a slightly more supportive route, so that might be a good option for you to look at that. And as I said, there's lots of careers advisors out there at this time of year, so make sure you speak to them. For anyone who's just joining us, or people who are watching this as it's going to be recorded and sent out later, welcome. My name is Erin. I'm a careers advisor with Skills Development Scotland. I am working on the results helpline today and over this next week to help support young people and their parents with any questions that they have about their career options following results day and what's happened to you today. So please feel free to pop in any questions that you have, and I'm going to be answering some questions that we've had in advance here just to make sure that I'm covering anything that you might be worried about or concerned about given the results today. Next question I have on my list is, I'm thinking about taking a gap year. Is it a bad idea that I don't have a plan yet? I don't think it's a bad idea, but gap years can take quite a bit of time to put together, particularly if you're heading abroad, because there's all sorts of things like passports and visas and things. There's lots of really good information on My World of Work. They've got lots of information about gap years and different sites that you can go to get support and advice. A gap year is always a really good idea for getting additional skills, particularly if you're thinking about a career where you're working with people or animals or the environment, for example. There's lots of really great opportunities to boost your skills and boost those maturity levels before you maybe go on to other educational outlets. So it's not the end of the world if you want to do a gap year and you haven't planned it yet. It is going to be hard work. It is possible. And again, your careers advisor can support you with that, either by contacting us on the helpline or getting back in touch with your school careers advisor, who would be only too happy to help you through that gap year and help you to plan what is next. So I've got more questions, if I can work my technology. And hopefully for anyone who's just joining us, we're talking today about results. So if you've got any questions, please pop some in. I'll try and get to those once I've gone over some of the questions that we had in advance. So what happens if I want to appeal my results? Will it change anything for college or university? That is an excellent question, because that is something we are asked all the time on the helpline. So if you want to appeal, you can do that yourself now. You can go through the SQA and pop in your appeal. I would always advise you to have a chat with your school first and foremost, because they'll be able to advise you on the different aspects of that and if you're likely to receive that appeal, because they'll have a little bit more information than you do. But you can absolutely do that yourself or with the support of your careers advisor. I know I did that for a number of my pupils last year, just sat with them and helped them to complete that process. It's difficult when it comes to your university and college offers. First and foremost, I would say contact the universities and colleges and let them know that you are waiting for an appeal if that is one of the subjects that your offer is dependent on. Definitely check the status of that offer, because sometimes if you're just out with a qualification, it's at the discretion of the universities and colleges. They might still offer you a place, so double check your emails this morning. And if you are putting an appeal and you've got a place at college or university waiting on that, make sure you put your appeal through as the enhanced appeal so that it's put through quicker and it gives the university and you the information much sooner, and that might help you to gain one of those places. But again, sometimes there's some individual circumstances with that kind of thing, so definitely have a chat with your school careers advisor or give us advisors a call on the helpline. Can I still apply for uni through clearing even if I haven't applied before? Yes, you can, and this time of year there's quite a few people who go through that route. What I would say is you do still need to apply to UCAS so that you get your clearing passport number, and there is a charge attached to that, so you will have to pay that charge. And once you've got that clearing passport, you're the same as everybody else in clearing, and you're then free to apply for different courses that are available for you there. Again, it's a good idea to get a little bit of help with that if you need a hand to do the UCAS application, to know what to do with the passport numbers, because this will be all new to you. You haven't been through this lengthy process that everybody else has when they've been doing their UCAS application. So make sure you get a help with it, but absolutely you can apply for clearing at the moment if there's a course there that you're particularly interested in. Are there any jobs or apprenticeships hiring right now for people with my results? So there will be jobs and apprenticeships available at the moment. You can find them on lots of different sites. So apprenticeships.scot, you'll find any apprenticeship vacancies that are available at the moment. You'll find jobs available on different websites as well. Again, your school careers advisor will be able to help you with things like application forms, checking over your CV, making sure that that's the right decision for you, because at this time of year people can make snap decisions, which isn't always the best idea. At this time of year you can be quite stressed, a bit overwhelmed with things, so that's a good idea to make sure that you look at those kind of things as well. I'm going to have a wee quick look and see if we've had any live questions that have come in. I'm not seeing anything that has come up, so I'm going to carry on with my questions on here, and then hopefully I'll get some of the live ones through. I'm a bit behind, you see, which I can be sometimes with technology. So I've got no idea what I want to do next. Where do I even start? Excellent question, and a common one at this time of year, because there's a lot of overwhelm about, there's lots of different things happening. So make sure that you talk to people, and your school careers advisor or someone on the helpline is always an excellent place to start. As careers advisors, our advice is always to think about yourself first and foremost. That's where all careers advisors start to grow from. So think about the things that you enjoy, think about the things that you're good at, and also think about those pathways that you see yourself doing. Think about what that future self might look like. Do you see yourself going on to college or university, or do you feel you're a bit done with that kind of educational side of things? Would you prefer to be out there working, using your hands? So think about those kind of things, and then that'll set you up nicely for an interview and session with a careers advisor who can help you to map those ideas for the future. Can I talk to someone one-to-one today about my results and next steps? You absolutely can. So there's the helpline. So if it's easier for you to do a kind of phone call, give us a call on 0808 100 8000, and we will be happy to talk you through. And you can call us as many times as you want to throughout the week. It's not a one and done. You can keep calling back if you don't get the answers to your questions. You should be able to get in touch with your school careers advisor who can schedule you an appointment, and they can do video calls if that's easier for you, or in most instances they can meet you in your school and have a good chat to you. You can also pop into public offices and have a chat to people so far. So I'm looking at a wee live question just now. How important are Nat5s for university? That's a brilliant question. And your Nat5s are like the foundation to your learning. So Nat5s will help you then to grow onto the next level of qualification, which is your higher. So it's important to have your Nat5s because it will help you to then move on to your higher courses. But it's not the end of the world if Nat5s haven't gone according to plan. It's at the school's discretion whether you can move on to the higher level. So if you've had an utter disaster in your Nat5s, but your school feel actually you're very capable of doing the higher level courses, then they can still let you go on to those. And for some universities and colleges, they will look at the Nat5. So if there's a subject that you should have but you don't have at higher level, as long as you've got it at a Nat5 level. So for example, a lot of courses will stipulate that they want Nat5s in English and Maths at least for a university option. So Nat5s are definitely still very, very important for your university courses, but not the end of the world if things haven't gone according to plan. Another question we've got, if you get grades for uni but decide to do an apprenticeship, can you still do university later? Absolutely, again, a brilliant question. So yeah, you can do university and then you can go on to an apprenticeship later on, and the other way around. And there's also a thing called graduate apprenticeships. So I'm not sure if everybody knows about graduate apprenticeships, but that's where you would get university level qualifications as well as working for a company in an apprenticeship capacity. So you'd be getting that hands-on work experience in industry as well as getting your university qualifications. So you can absolutely do an apprenticeship and then move on to university later. And in some instances, depending on the company that you work for, they might sponsor you to go through university, and they might encourage you to do that and allow you to do that as part of your job. So that's definitely a really, really good question. And just to reiterate, we are open until 8 p.m. tonight on Tuesday. On Wednesday we're open 8 till 8, and then Thursday and Friday we're open 9 to 5. So if you do have any questions that you want to talk over with someone one-to-one and just get really in depth with that, please give us a call on 0808 100 8000. Somebody has questioned, I still not got my email with my results. Okay, so that can happen. Sometimes things get caught in the crossfire. I know, for example, my lovely stepdaughter this morning looked in the wrong email account. Hers had come in at 8 o'clock, but she'd missed it. So check all your email accounts, check your junk mail. If your email hasn't come in and you're desperate to know your results, which I'm sure you are, you can contact your school. So if you've not got a copy of your results at all, give your school a call. There will be someone available there to answer your call, and they will have a copy of your results and they can let you know over the phone. So if you haven't got them, give the school a call. I know you're probably anxious to get them, so give someone at school a call and hopefully they'll be able to talk you through what those results are. And just keep checking that email box in case it's gone into your spam or anything like that. We've got 5 minutes left on the call today, so if anybody does have any more questions, pop them through for me. I will try and answer them as well as I can. Just to remind you, my name's Erin. I'm a Careers Advisor with Skills Development Scotland, and I'm answering questions today about your results and any questions that you have about that. So I'm sure there's lots of questions out there, lots of people worried about what's happened. Remember, it's not the end of the world and we are here to help. You can get in touch with your school careers advisor. You can call us on the helpline 0808 100 8000. Once I finish this call, I will be hooking up to my laptop to take some of those calls. So please feel free to give us a ring and ask any questions that you've got. Remember, problems only get bigger if you don't ask the questions, and we are here to help you navigate all those different worries that you have. We'll be here to make sure that you get through those different worries and problems and all the stresses that happen at this time of year. I appreciate it. It's a really difficult time of year. As I said earlier on in the call, I remember vividly when my results came through and I hadn't got my higher maths the first time around, and I was absolutely devastated, but actually everything worked out for me and I'm in the job that I love. So when do grade boundaries come out? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I think that might be if you have got like a band 1 or 2 for your A grade or a 3 or 4 for your B grade. You don't actually get a copy of those, but you can ask at school. So if you have a chat with your teachers, they'll be able to tell you whether you're a band 1 or 2 for your A grade, for example, and that can let you know where you were. So it's not important when it comes to your university applications, your college applications, whether you get into a higher class next year, but sometimes I appreciate it is nice to know where you were in that. So they'll be able to let you know where you were in the banding. So if you just speak to someone in school, you can phone school offices today. When you go back next week, you'll be able to speak to different individual teachers. They will have copies of your results, so they'll be able to talk you through where you were in the bandings. So another 2 minutes left. So just to reiterate that I know today can be really, really stressful, and honestly we are here to help you as much as you need. So if you want to give the helpline a call, we are open until 8 p.m. tonight. The number is 0808 100 8000. We're open till 8 p.m. tomorrow, Wednesday, and then we're open 9 till 5 Thursday and Friday. So if there are any questions and you just want to speak to careers advisors like me, we can talk you through all those options and get you to where you want to be. Remember, it's never as bad as it seems. We're here to calm you down, talk you through all the different options, and make sure you can still get to where you want to be. So don't feel that you're alone. We are absolutely here to help you. We're also here to help if things have gone better than expected. So there might be some people out there today who have had results that surprised them, were much better than they'd maybe been predicted. And there's lots of advice out there for you too, especially if you're thinking about having a course change based on getting better results. There's different things through UCAS that we can do, so you can apply for other courses and not lose the course that you've got. Or it might be that you're thinking about subject changes if you're going back for a 5th or 6th year, given you've done a little bit better than you anticipated. Give us a call and we can talk you through that and make sure, as we've said earlier on in the call today, that you're not making snap decisions while you're feeling a little bit emotional. We'll make sure that it's calm and considered choices. So we've got 1 minute left. If there's any final questions, please pop them in and I'll do my best to answer them. But just well done everyone for your results today. I know that everybody has worked really, really hard, and it's a really stressful day, so please don't feel alone in that. If you've got any questions at all, please give us a call or contact your school careers advisor if you're happier with that, and we'll be here to help you through what can be a really stressful and emotional time. It doesn't matter if things have gone completely wrong, there is always a path through that. We can always find an alternative route into the career that you want to get into, and we will be here to hold your hand and talk you through all of that. So please feel free to ask us any questions you want. We will be available until 8 p.m. tonight on Tuesday. We'll be available 8 till 8 on Wednesday, 9 to 5 Thursday and Friday, and you can always contact your school careers advisor as well. So please don't feel alone. Equally, parents and carers can give us a call too, so feel free to call us as many times as you need to get the help that you need. I think all that remains for me to say is just goodbye and well done to everybody who's received their results, and please get in touch if you need to. I'm going to put my little headset on now and speak to everybody on the line, so if anybody does have questions, give us a call on the number at 0808 100 8000. Thanks for tuning in, guys.